Hey everybody, how's it going? This is Fandom Empire Live. It is 8:17, broadcasting to you from just outside Toronto, Ontario, Canada. And for once, this usually doesn't happen, everybody that's on the show tonight is Canadian. That's right. Fuck you, Tommy B. No, I'm kidding. I love you, buddy. Joining me on tonight's episode is a bunch of the cast and crew from Haddonfield the Vanished. It's going to be a lot of fun. You're going to get to meet them. Find out about our wild filming weekend, which was a lot of fun. Learned a lot. It was definitely an experience that I'll never forget. We'll find out what they think soon enough. If you're wondering where the hell the massive scratch on my face came from, my cat greeted me about 15 minutes after I got home by jumping on my face. What a bitch. Anyways, later tonight we're going to talk about Scream, which I'm sure Frank Riker's jumping for joy about. And we're going to talk about a Halloween Ends rumor that has come our way that we're going to address a little later on. But without further ado, let's meet the cast of Haddonfield the Vanished. First up, he is the co-host of the Rogue Sons of Star Wars podcast and the co-host over at the Imperial Remnant broadcast here on Fandom Empire. It's Kieran. How's it going, man? Oh, I got you muted. 1 second. 1 second. Let's try that again. How's it going, dude?
Did that on purpose.
Totally.
We started the show just as the football game's on, so that's great. But other than that, really good. I had a great day, so I'm excited to talk about what happened this weekend because it was amazing.
Well, I'm glad to hear you describe it as amazing. Now, we won't get into what, but we had already teased on the show you had a really physical scene you have to do. How you feeling, man? Because during it, you seemed like you were totally okay. And when I came out to the living room the next morning, you didn't seem quite that okay anymore.
Yeah, it's funny. I destroyed my knee in that scene, and that was hurting big time. But my back, which I had kept telling everybody was fine, like, don't worry about it.
Uh-oh.
And then I woke up the next morning and my knee was good. And then I was like, oh, good. It feels good. And stretching it out. And then I got up and kind of did a little shoulder roll. And then I was like, ooh, oh my God. So it totally reversed. And my back was a little bit sore for a couple days, but it was all worth it. It was all worth it. It was really awesome. That whole scene was great. So.
Well, I'm glad that you're alive and well, dude. That's the most important thing. Also joining us on the show tonight, I guess we didn't get to officially announce this yet, but the newest member of Fandom Empire, and I know her and Jade were joking around about a show that Frank Riker might not be okay with the title of. It's Kennedy. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm starting to feel well rested. I feel like I've almost caught up on sleep, which is fantastic. How are you? Because you were running around like a chicken with your head cut off. You had so many hats on this weekend.
Well, I'm not stressed, so that's fun. But
everybody else here, they're breaking out there. Yeah.
Sorry.
She's back. Okay, so sorry, you were saying.
No, just that I was stressed in a good way that weekend. Just running around between doing makeup and then being in a scene and then doing more makeup and then being in the next scene, and it was just kind of stressful, but it was worth it because I think the outcome will be pretty epic.
I think a lot of people are going to be very happy with the outcome, which is a long time from now. By the way, everybody who's watching, bear with us here. Skype is not the most agreeable to having chats with a lot of people. I briefly talked to Kieran about it before the show. I think we might switch to Zoom. It won't be for this show, but we'll get there. Also joining us this evening, you guys don't know the details about what happened. You just knew that we had a bit of a casting issue a few weeks ago. And for privacy reasons, we'll keep those details private. But Carolina, you were the only person there this weekend that knew absolutely nobody other than talking to me First of all, welcome to the show. And what was your experience like not knowing anybody there?
Okay, so obviously, like, we're not going to spill details, but, you know, this was something that was, like, introduced to me by a friend of mine. You know, sparing the details, I still wanted to, you know, be a part of the project and meet everybody. And, you know, at the end of the day, I do my own thing and whatever. But I had a wonderful time. And obviously, being in a house with 13 other people that I've never met in my life was a little intimidating at first, but it turned out to be amazing. And I felt like, you know, I was just a part of the whole group, and it was a great experience, and there's nothing I would have changed about it.
Awesome. Good stuff. And last but not least, at least last for now, we have someone else that'll be joining us in a bit. You know him from his YouTube channel. I met him through Toronto Freddy. It's a small world that we happen to live in the same city. That doesn't happen often when you meet someone on YouTube. Jason, you found out about this role, I think 2.5 weeks ago, and you came in and you literally were in, I think, 4 of the first 5 scenes we shot and done, and you knocked it out of the park. What was your experience like, man?
Oh man, best ever. Being the horror fan that I am, that was the best experience I think I've ever had, seeing the other side of it. And I mean, I've shot stuff myself, but nothing, of course, on that level. The only thing, and if I'm good at all, it's because you directed me the proper way. That's.
I don't know. I think I was getting on some people's nerves. So let's start simple. Let's not even talk about what we shot. The biggest reaction I got from people is leading up to it. I remember a couple people snickering under their breath. Oh yeah, mini mansion, right? A lot of people misuse the term mansion a lot, and I didn't think it was a mansion. I thought it was well worded. What a good looking crew, Sean. You're A. Fuck you, Frank. It was the cat. Anyway, the biggest reaction that I seen a lot from people was when they first walked through the house, like, oh my God, look at this place. Not to mention the location right on the lake. Even though I'd seen a bunch of photos of it and video, it's different being there in person. And I was completely blown away by it. But I want to hear what you guys thought of the location once you arrived. Kieran?
I thought it kept going on and on. I walked in and I saw, you know, there's a downstairs, there's an upstairs. Okay, cool. Around the corner, there's this, and it's like, okay, cool. And there's a couple rooms. Like, that's pretty cool. But then it keeps going. You go around the corner, there's more rooms. You go up the stairs, there's the cold game room, which I slept in.
That room was fucking cold.
Too late to pick a good room. But yeah, and then there's, like, I think a downstairs that I didn't even get to, and there's a backyard I barely explored. So it was pretty fantastic. I would definitely think about renting that one on my own as well. It was pretty awesome.
Well, it's a big bill if you're renting it on your own. Just giving you a heads up.
I'm not going to help.
Carolina, what was your thoughts coming to the location for the first time?
I thought it was gorgeous. Coming into that location, I thought, what do I need to do in my life to be able to live in a house like this? That's exactly what I thought. It was beautiful. It was, you know, like, it was perfect for all of us. And I felt like we, you know, obviously, for me personally, like, not knowing anybody, I was like, you know, am I going to get any privacy? Like, is this going to be, like, awkward for me? But, you know, like, everybody seemed to have their own little space and whatever, their own little area. But the location was gorgeous. Being right on the lake is beautiful. I'm so excited to see what it's going to be like when we actually get to be there in the summertime and be able to experience that part. But no, the house is beautiful, and definitely cannot wait until we go back.
Hart Wishwood says he loves Carolina's glasses.
Okay.
That's a story we won't get into. And Frank
Right?
Frank Riker says Kieran Santa's hat is making him angry for some reason. By the way, I forgot to mention this off the top, guys. If you want to interrupt our story time at any point and have a question for any of these individuals and or Zane when he gets here, feel free to send in a super chat and support the channel on that level and ask whatever you like. We will do some Q&A towards the end of this thing, though. But if you want questions beforehand, you will have to send in a super chat. Kennedy, you and I arrived together, but we basically got busy, like, right to it. You went and did your thing. I went and did my thing. I don't really know what Ray went and did, and then I know Mike was unpacking with Zane. Mike and Zane did a lot of the unpacking there, and you were setting up the kitchen area and the board. And just what was your experience of arriving in that place? For me, I rent a main floor home in a basement. I don't own that. I'm probably never going to own that. But what was it like getting to be there?
Do you know how much self-restraint I had to have to not go running around the whole house, just being like, oh my goodness! Yeah. And then Mike Bell started unpacking and Zane started unpacking and they were stressing me out. So I apparently was a mom at one point putting groceries away because no, they were stressing me out. It was so bad.
Hang on. Clap Boy Mike? That guy?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Clap Boy. We had two mics there and they ended up getting named. One was named Clap Boy, not for the bad reasons, but because of using the clapboard. And the other one was Red Bull Mike, because dude was pounding back Red Bulls like no tomorrow.
That was intense.
I thought I was bad having two.
I found a Snapchat filter with Red Bull. It was so funny. But yeah, it was really big. I enjoyed myself. My air mattress didn't really fit where it was supposed to, but I guess that's on me for bringing too big of an air mattress.
It was big.
I mean, it was a queen size air mattress. I just needed like an extra inch or two between the wall and the end of Rima's bed. But yeah. And then I walked into the activity room, and all you see in the top frame of like in top corners of the door frame is like what looked like old bloody fingerprints smeared down. And I was like, perfect place to film a horror short film. Like great. What's gonna kill me in my sleep?
Jason, I walked outside at some point. I forget who. Someone said somebody was here, and I walked outside, and there you were. I believe you met Ray first. What were your thoughts, man? It was a busy day for you. Happy belated birthday, by the way, to your little one. I know you took some time out of that night away in order to come shoot that, which is just ridiculous commitment, and we thank you for that. But your thoughts once you got on location and had a chance to start looking around?
Oh, it was beautiful. And I actually got there early, so I went for a drive because I grew up down the road. So I went to my old house where I grew up and just did a drive-by. So I know the area well. So it's I grew up right on the wasn't on the lake, but I was kind of lived at a court just down the road from there. But I think the mini mansion is a newer build.
Oh, it definitely
you're talking like I moved out of there like 22 years ago, something like that.
You can tell it's a lot newer than the other houses in the area.
But I'll just say a lot of atmosphere in that house. It felt like a perfect place to shoot a film, especially a horror film.
I am going to see if I can pull up a picture of the cast here for everybody. In the meantime, though, what was your favorite part of the weekend? Let's go around the table. Start with Kieran. We were there for almost 48 hours, man. You and Kennedy and Zane were running around like chickens with your head cut off, doing so much. And I mean, you literally went to drive 20 minutes away to go get his pizza. So,
bless yours.
Thank you for that. Bless you.
Yeah, I was the pizza guy. I had to drive Thaden home and back, and I
the
came back to
Spartans
help him
guy.
at the end, so that was good. But I mean, favorite part is either going to be playing ping pong with Jade a bunch of times against multiple opponents, and we're still the champs. But my favorite point of the actual movie was that we filmed my kind of action epic scene at like, I think from somewhere between 1 o'clock and 3 o'clock in the morning. So in order to keep myself awake, I had to make a bunch of terrible jokes the whole time and kind of like pace around and swear and kind of just keep myself hyped up for 2 hours to film a scene that probably is only going to be a minute long. So, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not a person to stay up late at night very often. I have kids that wake me up at 6 o'clock in the morning. So to keep myself up, I basically just had to like yell and make funny jokes. And like, I was joking around with Zane a lot, which is funny because we play buddies in the movie. So it worked out perfectly. But yeah, just to keep myself awake, like, just like terrible jokes that I will not say while we're on here, and yeah, just running, pacing back and forth, yelling.
We got a super chat in here from Intel Wild, one of our main supporters here on the channel, which, by the way, Kieran plays the character named after Intel Wild, so that scene was a little bit of a nod to Intel, and I have to say, I was looking at it today, and I freeze framed it at a certain point where I'll just say your character's getting up, and the look on your face, like when people are watching it, they're not going to die laughing, but knowing what you went through filming it, I just died laughing at it. It was laughing at your expense, man.
If I looked exhausted, then that's good.
Oh yeah, no, it works. It works. I'm a little offended at the whole you and Jade playing ping pong thing though, and still undefeated champions. That's some bullshit.
I challenge you.
I had Mike as a partner.
There. Make sure Jade comes back up.
Jade.
Oh, Jade will be there. She has to be there. She has more to film. So,
no, I know.
Carolina, what was overall your favorite part of the weekend?
Oh my God. There's so many favorite parts, but honestly, I would have to say my favorite part was my action scene, to be honest.
It was loud.
I felt I truly shined, even though, you know, as you guys said, I was a little too loud, but I felt like that was my favorite part. Just being able to, you know, even like asking you like, okay, like, what do you want me to do? Like, I've never done this before. Like, how should I act? Like, what should I say? And then you're like, okay, well, imagine like if this was real life, and like, what would you do in real life? And then, you know, just basically putting that into action. Maybe a little too much into action since I was told to tone it down a little bit. That was probably my favorite part.
Honestly, I was upstairs with the door closed, and it scared the living bejesus.
I know. That's what I heard.
Me and Rachel were talking, and I just like jumped out of like my seat, and she's like, "What was that? Like, who was that?" And we're like, "Oh, it was Carolina." We're like, "I didn't know you had it in you," but it was.
I remember looking at Zane and then looking at Thaden, and I'm like, maybe that's a little too good. And thinking, uh-oh.
Maybe
it was
at like 5:30 in the morning. That's a little too much.
It was
echoes across the lake.
it was something. Kennedy, you had a busy weekend, as we've stated already. What was the most memorable part of your weekend?
Well, I don't know. That's a tough one. Was definitely like by the front door, stepping over dead bodies, you know, the huge. But probably like my action scene with just like the outside. It was pretty, like, I've never acted in anything before or acted at all. So I honestly didn't think I had it in me, and it looked pretty decent in my opinion. Not to toot my own horn, but beep beep.
That's amazing.
Thanks.
No, you did very well. Keeping in mind, not only were you part of the setup crew, you were doing makeup and acting too. So you were all over the place.
Amazing. She's amazing at makeup.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I was very dead filming that, so I'm pretty impressed with the outcome.
I remember, without giving anything away, a spot where you had to be very surprised in that scene, and your face, like, it looked like your eyeballs popped out of your face. Like, you did a great job.
No, that wasn't me acting. That was legitimate. It freaks me.
Is it bad that I don't know which part you're referring to right now? Like, you just sort of get in the zone behind the camera. It's like, oh shit. Okay.
If this is any hint, it looks like this.
Okay. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, no, that was legit. Like, not method acting. That was like legitimate fear.
The method was you were actually scared for your life.
Well, yeah.
Oh, we lost her for a second.
I forgot what I was supposed to do. Like, what is that?
But
yeah, it was fun.
There's one stunt that Kennedy's character has in the movie. We won't tell you what it is, where we literally.
What do you mean?
We literally had to get Kennedy to change out of her costume, and we changed our stunt guy into the costume and just had his head turned, and then he performed the stunt. And we did 2 takes of it. And the second take was easy. Like, you could totally tell was far more painful than the first take. And I said to him after the second take, I'm like, man, that was good, dude, but we're probably using the first take. Jason, I know you weren't there all weekend, man. You were there for about the first half of...
The second one was too realistic.
Hang on. I think Zane is somewhere.
Yeah,
here.
Zane said he's good if you can add him in.
I don't actually have Zane on here, so he's gonna have to send me a message if someone wants to message him in the group.
I'll do.
Oh, maybe I do have Zane on here.
Oh, okay.
All you see is him get up. Are you okay? Yeah. That one looked like it hurt a bit. Are you sure you're okay? Yeah, that hurt a little. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, no, that yeah, it was something. Oh, here's Zane. Speak of the devil, and he shall appear. Sort of. 1 second. We don't actually have him in here. I don't know why it doesn't show me people's names and codes, so I'm literally guessing at which one Zane is. Let's see if we got him right. Maybe he's not in here.
I'm in here. I think I'm in here.
I don't see video, man. I just see have audio.
I'll try and figure that out.
Jason, I know in the meantime, while we're waiting for Zane, I think I have the right one in here.
I'm pretty sure he said he's in there.
Yeah,
Wait.
I heard him, but we can't visually see him at the moment, which is a
No,
problem.
he's there.
Oh, can you? Okay, well then maybe it's on my end.
Hi, Zane.
Hi.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm not too bad.
Awesome, dude.
Bear with me here, everybody, as I try to figure out.
Okay.
Nope, that's Carolina again. I'm about done with Skype. I think I want to switch to Zoom. Anyways, Jason, I know you were only there for the first day of it. What was your, just without spoiling anything, because you had an eventful half a day that you were there. What was your favorite part of the experience?
Definitely my action scene. Especially being a first time acting on anything. like I said, I feel like you really directed me well. And when I woke up Sunday, so not the next day, the day after, I could feel it. I'm not gonna lie. I could feel. I go, why am I so sore? Then I realized, oh yeah, because I really feel like let's just say I sold it. I sold things in that scene.
That is an excellent term. I'm struggling here to get Zane in. I'm doing my best.
I'm here. I'm good.
I still don't see you though, which is a problem.
Okay. I don't know if that's an issue with me or what, but I'm not used to Skype. I don't know. I don't usually use this.
Yeah.
Is your little camera thing on? Like the little camera button?
It's on. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You're right. You just flipped it off and on, so I can.
Yeah, I turned it off on. But we're good now. I think. I don't know.
We can't see you on the actual screen, like for the purposes of YouTube.
Can you guys see him on Skype though?
Yeah, I can see him on Skype.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's up in the top there.
Here, Zane, do me a favor. Leave the call for a second and call back in, and I'll ring you back through.
All right.
Oh yeah, I can see him there. Why isn't he going in? Yeah. So I mean, it was just a absolutely. Oh, he's already calling back. That was quick.
He's excited. He wants to be on.
AD. All right.
All right, I'm here.
Now that I know his code, I should be able to get him in.
So this was your full time?
I mean, I'm sure that's what Jade would say. All right, we got Zane here. The windows are all funky. We need to switch to Zoom. Won't be on this stream, but Zane, first of all, welcome to the show, man. Pleasure to have you.
Thanks.
Those that don't know, you know Jade if you watch this channel because she's been on here enough. Zane is Jade's cousin. So welcome, dude. And we were talking about what everyone's first reaction was once we got to the location on the weekend. What was your reaction to the location?
I think I asked if there was a washroom because it seems like it's above washrooms, right? It just, I don't know. It seemed too nice to have a toilet.
So, Paul's Zane out on his Vaughn weekend.
Too nice to have a toilet. I don't even know what to say to that.
No.
It was a serious question. Have you been to?
Gone out, and Zane goes, "Do you think they have a washroom?" And I just gave him the dirtiest look. And then later that night, we sent him to go get the gallon of blood from the.
Oh, we lost Kennedy again. She'll be back in a second, I imagine.
That's all right. She's just making fun of me.
Last thing we heard, Kennedy, was you sent him for a gallon of blood.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we
we can hear you.
And she gone again. So, just in general, what do you think of the location in a general sense?
Oh, I thought it was great.
So we asked everybody, those of you that don't know, Zane was a PA for us, and he also has a small role in the movie. Zane plays a police officer, and I mean, without spoiling anything, I guess you can probably guess what happens to most police officers in horror movies. What was your... we're trying not to spoil too much, Zane. What was your favorite part of the weekend?
You know, okay, well, I thought my least favorite part was going to be acting, because I'm not an actor, right? I've never acted. But that ended up being my favorite part.
Really?
Yeah, just trying to hold a straight face.
Oh, hang on.
You know what I mean? When you're supposed to hold a straight face, but you're doing something fun. Like, I don't know. Just it's almost as if somebody told a joke at a funeral, and then you're not supposed to laugh because it's a funeral, you know. And it just makes it all that much more hard not to laugh because you know you're not supposed to.
I mean, so I guess you could call it a funeral.
Yeah, kind of. And I think I laughed at one. I started laughing at one point.
I told a couple of jokes.
What's that?
I told a couple of jokes while we were filming.
Yes. Yeah, to keep yourself going. Yeah.
Oh, between me, Jade, and Sean, like half my scenes, I was like dying of laughter, and I was like, It's so bad.
I mean,
So
there was
funny, though.
Acting was my favorite part for sure.
the one thing that I really loved about the weekend, and I know Carolina was a little worried about this because she didn't know anybody, but I was pretty positive that in at least 95% of the cases, or at least with 95% of the people there, everybody would get along fairly well and just sort of have a fun time with it. And I think for the most part that was the case. What do you guys think of just the chemistry of not just, on screen, but just being in the same place for a couple of days with people that you're not necessarily used to being around? Kieran?
Well, I said, one of the stories that I said was, I think near the end of the weekend, I approached Carolina and I said, you're the person who doesn't know anybody, right? And she was like, yes. And I was like, well, good, because it doesn't show. I had to ask you. I didn't know. It didn't stand out to me that you definitely were. So definitely, the person who knew the least amount of people being, 0, definitely had fun. I think she had fun. I had fun. My brother, who came and was a PA, is not a very he's not a very social guy either. He's a video game nerd and definitely doesn't go out of his way to do things like this. But he also really enjoyed himself. We talked on the road on the way home about how excited he was and how we both want to do it again, and we're excited for the next shoot. And I didn't talk to anybody who didn't have a good time. And oddly enough, for the 2 hours I was gone was the only time that something apparently happened. So, without getting into that, I think everyone had a great time the whole time I was there. And I had fun with everybody who's in this group. And I don't know, I thought everyone did an excellent job. And I think most of us hadn't acted before because a lot of us
it was about a 50-50 split.
Placements, right?
There was 3 of you that were replacements, but it was about 50-50 split of people that had experience and people that didn't. Rima
I'm going to assume that Rima had acted before.
Oh, she has extensive experience.
Yeah, she was really good. I thought she was fantastic. And I definitely think anyone that sees the movie will definitely be impressed by her acting. But yeah, no, it was great. And I think I added almost everybody to Facebook when I got back home. So, because I thought everyone was awesome.
So what you're saying is you got along with everybody?
I get along with people most of the time anyways, but yeah, I got along with everybody.
Okay, well, let's bring up evidence, a photo here that we have. And there is a nice cast photo. Sage is not present because she's the one that takes the photo. And we're all kind of united there, except for Kieran, who is, for whatever reason, on his own a fair distance from everybody.
I said that I liked everybody. I didn't say that everybody liked me.
He's social distancing COVID.
Right. I mean, we sort of made the decision relatively early with just how close we all were in the house, even though it was a big house, that we left it open. If you wanted to wear your mask, you could wear your mask. If you didn't, you didn't have to. Obviously, you couldn't bring in outside people or go interact with another group of people and then come back and expose us to anything. But I'm happy to say that, unless I know otherwise, everybody's healthy, everybody's happy. We're not looking to get into a discussion or a debate here. But it was fun. Actually, I got rid of that picture too fast. This was a bit of a problem for me because when I was writing, this is like your entryway to the, as soon as you walk through the door is where the picture was taken. And so this is actually a focal point in a lot of the mansion shoots. So you can't see it, but you're basically, everybody's sort of facing the front door, and that area is bigger than what we thought. And it became a bit of an issue that we had to sort of work around. But all in all, it gives you an idea. this is literally just your front entryway of this home and how big it is and where we were shooting. And, outside the lack of sleep, I have to say, I already miss it. It was a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
Hang on. I got a couple of more photos here from Sage. I don't know if I can send these. They're both, I suppose I can. I'm going to send them in the chat, guys. I don't think I can send the one, which is unfortunate because it's fantastic. But I think they're both giveaways. I know the chat's like, what the hell are you talking about? But I just sent it to the group chat.
Oh, God.
I would just send them.
Send them.
Send them. Get the people excited. It doesn't give away anything.
All right.
It wasn't a hug fest. People did get hurt, like on camera.
I mean, adding to my portfolio. So like,
there you go.
Keep in mind the pictures that you're about to see are not it's not what it looks like on camera. Okay, these are not pictures or stills taken from the camera, at all. Actually, Carolina, do you have the one? Didn't you take some?
Definitely looks like I had a rough night. That's for sure.
Didn't you take photos with Ray as Michael?
I did actually. Do you want me to send them to you?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay, hang on one second.
I don't know if he has his eyes covered at that point, though.
Hold on, I'll send them.
Also,
I'll send them in the group chat. Hold on.
I love how the picture of Carolina with her makeup done is like a professional headshot, but like
beat up.
Apologies right now for the viewers. The windows are jumping everywhere, guys. There's nothing I can really do about that. Work with us here. Jesse says, I got to jump off here. Hopefully I can say hi later. Jesse, appreciate the support, man. You were a huge supporter of us and the project and put a lot of your own hard-earned money into it, which, by the way, people, we still have not gotten our Indiegogo money. Hopefully it'll come through. Thankfully, we were able to self-finance a bunch of it, but I'll be in touch with the people that donated in case they end up refunding you. We're still going to need that money. Let's share these images, which I almost feel peer pressured into this. The one is really, really revealing. So this one's a Carolina who is a little worse for wear on the weekend. It looks like you've seen some shit.
I've definitely healed up, that's for sure.
Wow, you recovered so well.
I know.
And like so quick. What happened?
It's funny.
So that was actually done by Kennedy. What a knockout job, Kennedy. You did fantastic with that. And then this next, I don't mind showing that one, but this next one, I feel just like my heart breaking showing you guys this. It shows you how nice the cast is compared to the director who doesn't want to show you guys anything of this magnitude.
You didn't even want to let me. I think you caught me reading this script at one point. And you're like, "Hey, what are you doing?" I'm in the movie.
So the way we work is we typically don't let people have full scripts, except for what they're in. But because there's so many people on set for that location, we ended up making a change for it. So the next photo you're about to see is an action sequence that Kieran was talking about earlier. This is not what it looks like on the camera. I can assure you this. This is taken from behind the scenes from someone who's taken some photos for us. And while their camera's good, it's nowhere remotely close to what we were shooting with. But gives you an idea of what poor Kieran had to suffer through for 2 hours. And there you have it. Even though it's not with that camera, that is a fantastic shot, Kieran. So feel free to share that one around on your social media if you're allowed to, and put it out there.
I definitely, I mean, I didn't brag, but I definitely like went on about how much fun the weekend was and how I enjoyed doing
Great
it.
shot.
But yeah, that's I'm in some pain there. That's after I took a few shots and before I took a few shots.
Before
Actually,
you-
That was a painful one for all of us.
You're done the shots first. It wouldn't have hurt as much.
Without giving it anything away, I think when we had the stunt coordinator show me how to do a couple of the stunts, the first thing I did, I landed on my head, and I was like, "Ooh!" And I'm pretty sure I remember Sean or someone else saying like, "Are you okay?" And then
Yeah,
that was
that was
just
me.
the first of at least 100 "Are you okays?" So, and I said yes every time, but I was lying a few of them.
When did we say you weren't okay the next morning when you got Tim Hortons without anybody else?
I messaged the chat.
Oh boy, this again.
In fairness, we didn't go to bed until 7 a.m. And this guy messages at 9:30 saying, "Does anyone want Tim Hortons?" Meanwhile, everyone's sleeping until like the last minute possible to wake up to start filming again.
It's hard to tell. I'm gonna blow this picture up again. Actually, it's hard to tell at first glance, but if you look at Kieran's face, you are very clearly busted open here. You can see the blood starting to pour from his head.
Yeah.
To be clear, we're talking visual effects by Kennedy. He didn't actually get busted open, not that I know of, anyway.
I hope not.
I did not get
I'm a
busted.
visual effects artist, not a paramedic.
That is a good shot, though. I dig it. I like it. And that's as revealing as we're going to get tonight.
It shows how effortlessly I'm getting beat up. Michael's not even like he's like standing straight up, like
Just sitting
you know, like,
there
no problem.
reading the paper.
yeah. And I'm definitely dying. So like, well, not dying, but like I'm definitely getting beat up pretty badly at that point. So
It actually, like, it looked great from, like, behind the scenes. It looked great.
I know it's funny. Like I remember filming that.
Amazing.
I remember filming that, and then I was asking people like, was that good or whatever? And everyone was like, oh yeah, that was great. And then like I did it like 5 more times, and I was like, I was done asking everybody if it looked good. I'm like, just like, and like every time Sean's like, I think we can do another one. I'm like, yeah, sure.
We have one more behind the scenes photo we can share, and this one features Zane.
Uh-oh.
Hold that
This
thought.
before or after Kieran fell over.
This is me showing too much there. All right. Hopefully not too many people picked up on that.
Well, that's not bad though. That's not the picture I thought it was going to be. Okay.
So
I'm all right
again,
with it.
this is not shot from the camera we were using. This is shot from the camera the behind the scenes person was using, Sage. And it actually looks a lot brighter here because of the flashlights you guys are using than it actually was at that time. It really wasn't all that bright when you guys were coming in there. But I mean, the gist of the shot is Kieran's character, which is named after Intel, is going upstairs, and Zane's character, which is named after our buddy Travis Middleton, is going downstairs. So they're splitting up, which if anybody's ever seen a horror movie, you don't split up. Even if
Should've
you're...
known better.
This was when I started laughing. It was that scene, I'm pretty sure.
Was it?
Yeah.
That it was. No. It was the one before where you find Carolina.
Oh, right.
What with
Oh, is that
That's the
the...
same scene though, right?
Oh, I wish
Yeah.
Kennedy wouldn't have said that.
Yeah.
the outtakes from that scene are going to be great.
Absolutely.
I just remember Zane saying a line Zane asks you something, and you're just like, yeah. I just died behind the camera. I couldn't hold it in.
I have video of this.
It wasn't my greatest piece of acting.
Oh, it
In
was.
fairness.
Okay.
It was a lot of fun. Carolina, your arm getting tired yet? I know you've been holding that up there for a bit.
I'm okay, actually. I keep like switching it up, so I'm okay.
Toronto Freddy sends in a super chat. Looks like you all had a fantastic time. I can only hope I have just as awesome time while I film my segment. I'm extremely excited. Well, Toronto Freddy, hopefully the pandemic... actually, this is what I will let you guys know. We haven't talked about this publicly too much. Saturday morning, myself, Jade, Kennedy, and Rima sat at a table. And I basically knew at that point, due to some slowing down that had happened and something else that had happened, that we were going to have to return to the location. Now, I know some people are like, well, who cares? You're returning to the location. Well, the location cost $1,600 for 2 days. So it's not just like, yeah, let's just return to the location. It was a decision that, had to require some thought. I was going to say the night before. I only slept 2 hours. So it's something I thought about. Ran it by Jade, and so we will be returning to the location. I don't have the dates yet. It's more than likely going to be the second weekend in May, and it'll be 3 days. We're going to have a wrap party there, again, if the pandemic allows us to do so. If not, we might have to back it up further. But this film is still slated for October the 8th, 2021. This film will come out October the 8th, 2021. It's just going to take a little more time to get to that point is all. So you're still going to see it, and if all goes well, you'll see a trailer sometime in the new year. We were hoping to get you a trailer by Christmas. I don't think that's going to happen, but what is going to happen is Kieran, myself, and Kennedy on December the 18th with a couple other people are going to head up to Jade's parents' cottage, and we're going to film a little Halloween short film that has nothing to do with Haddonfield the Vanished, as we're basically using it as a practice tool for certain things. And you'll get that before the end of this year. So at some point, whether it's on Christmas Day or New Year's Eve, sometime before the end of this year, you're going to see this little 10 to 15 minute short film we're going to do. It's called The Shape of Halloween. It's very short, very simple. Kieran is going to play Michael Myers for us in this short film. Kennedy's going to be doing her thing on screen and off screen. There won't be as much to do off screen this time. And it's just sort of a bit of a thank you to you guys who've supported the channel on the level that you have. Matt Whitfield sends in a super chat. Damn it, I hate this pandemic. I would have so made my way to Canada to help out. Well, man, if the world ever returns to normal, we would love to have you, dude. Yeah, that's the decided weekend, Jade. That's the decided weekend. Okay, so why don't we dive away from the movie? We've talked about the movie for the first 49 minutes and 30 seconds of this. And since we just went and filmed... Is Zane still with us, or is he... Okay,
Yep.
you were giving me the creeps there for a
looks like
second.
a statue.
Right? As it's like, wait, is he frozen?
The whole time.
Okay, so why don't we dive into, the horror genre in general and talk about everyone's first experience with a horror movie. I'll kick things off. I love Halloween. I love The Shining. They're definitely my two favorites, but that's not what I got introduced to. The first horror movie that I remember seeing was I Know What You Did Last Summer in terms of start to finish. And you look back at it now, and it's kind of cheesy at times, but I'm telling you, I seen that movie, and basically whenever I seen a dude in a raincoat for the next couple of years or seen a hook anywhere, I was scared shitless, and my dad always found it funny, and my mom would be like, you shouldn't have let him watch that movie, and so that was my first experience with a horror movie. Kieran, what was yours?
When I was a kid, all the way up until I was maybe almost 20, I was really scared of scary movies. So I refused to watch them. And I think the first one I really enjoyed was The Ring. And I don't know when The Ring came out. Do you know offhand?
I feel like
06?
Yeah, it
03
was
or
in the
06?
2000s.
Yeah. So, yeah, I would already have been like
40.
at least 18. So yeah, I was scared stupid of scary movies until then. And that was the first one I was like, I watched it because a friend wanted to watch it. And I was like, oh, man, that was actually pretty enjoyable. Like, I don't know what is missing. And I went back and watched. My favorite are like the slasher films, like Halloween and Friday the 13th, and I like Nightmare on Elm Street. Halloween is my favorite, and I really got into it. Actually, last Halloween, I watched mostly all of them, and I don't know. That's probably why I'm here now, I guess.
Nice.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't have a long history with horror movies because I was scared of them all the way until I was an adult.
Carolina, how about you? What was your first introduction into the horror genre?
I've always loved anything horror ever since I remember I was a little girl. I think that the first there's two actually. So when I was about maybe 11, 12 years old, I remember my family and I, we used to live our apartment where we used to live, below it was like one of those like really sketchy stores. So I remember I was like 12 years old and I was able to get my first like video card to be able to rent movies on my own. And I remember walking in there and I rented Children of the Corn.
Oh no.
Yeah, so I remember I was like home alone. I had to babysit my sister, and I wanted to watch scary movies. And so I went in there and I rented Children of the Corn. Scared the shit out of me because, there's nothing worse than creepy little children. I swear. There is something about creepy little kids. Anyways, loved it. It gave me that thrill. The second movie I think I watched it the same week was Candyman.
Oh.
And that did it for me. That was like the scariest shit I've ever seen, 12 years old. And then it was just, I don't know, I guess downhill, uphill from there. I don't know, whichever way you want to look at it. Yeah, and now I'm to a point in my life where I find it very hard to find anything scary anymore. So, I don't know.
I felt that about the last Halloween movie in 2018. I love the movie, but at no point was I scared during the movie. I just loved it because it was Michael Myers. So,
yeah.
Kennedy, how about you? What was your first introductory into horror?
The Ring, and I absolutely hated it. I was like 6 or 7 years old, and my grandma always had like horror movies on, and the first movie I ever saw was The Ring, and the first, I looked at the TV, and it was just her crawling out of the TV, and I was a little girl, and I was like, I shat myself, and ran, and I was screaming. I had nightmares for days. It was rough. And then, my dad gave her shit. She's like, why'd you have that on TV? And she's like, meh. But by far, favorite franchise has to be the Saw movies.
Oh,
they're so good. They're so
that's too much for me. That's too
they're all psychological. They're not too cheesy.
It's definitely not cheesy, but it's very just so gory. So I don't know. I've seen all of them, but half the time I'm like this.
But it's psychology behind it, and I liked it.
Yeah,
I feel
I like the story.
Very relaxed. I am. I am very relaxed.
Pure, subjective, remind you, and this is just my opinion. I feel like Saw is one of those franchises that starts here and then just slowly gets worse with each entry. Almost all franchises are like that, though. But the first Saw movie, I remember seeing it when it came out. And, okay, so spoiler alert to a movie that came out 20 years ago almost. When the dude moves at the end, I jumped in my seat in the theater. It's like, oh, shit.
Why'd you have to spoil that part, Sean?
I know, terrible.
You?
Were you born when that movie came out? I don't remember
did it come out?
I don't know. I feel like I want to say it was, you would have had 2005, 2006, somewhere around there.
4 or 5.
So.
Yeah.
Saw 7. Is there 7 Saw movies?
There's
Wow.
7 Saw movies.
Oh my god. No. Jason, I believe you were the oldest. Oh, maybe not. How old are you, Jason?
I'm 41.
Okay, so you got Kieran beat by a bit. What was your introductory into horror, man?
Jason Lives.
Jason Lives.
I was 7 years old. I think, I'm not sure if I was sick one day, but I was home from school for some reason. And my mom took me to I did live in Oshawa at that time as a little kid, and near the south end, and there was a like a convenience store where they sold videos where you could rent them, kind of thing. And she took me there, and I remember seeing Jason Lives, with the mask, and it's got the light shining through the mask and the gravestone. And I was so to look at that, I said, I want to rent that. And she says, you sure? So we went, and I had a little beanbag in our basement. I used to sit on this beanbag all the time. And when you see him Tommy opening up that casket, man, I'll never forget it. And it's one of my favorites. And I mean, the first 10 minutes, he gets resurrected and he punches a fucking guy's heart out. And it's just and I just had Vincent DeSanti on my show, and he was talking about that's his favorite. So we were both geeking out over that movie together. And yeah, I love that film. But my favorite horror movies though are the original Nightmare on Elm Street, The Thing, and the original Psycho. They're probably my top 3 favorites.
Classics. Absolute
Yeah.
classics.
I watched Jason Lives today.
Really?
Yeah.
Small
Great
world.
film. I love it.
Yikes.
It's one of the. It's probably the second or third best of the 13th series.
Zane, I don't even know. Like, I can't even imagine what your first horror movie experience was. Growing up with Jade and Shawnee, I'm sure. No. I'm gonna get in shit for that one. All right, Zane, what was your first introductory into horror?
Well, I was always a fan of like pseudo horror when I was a kid, right? So like Jaws, Lost Boys, things that aren't really scary, but for kids,
Yep.
I thought of it as a horror movie. And I loved Goosebumps, and I loved Are You Afraid of the Dark? And then my first actual horror movie was Halloween, and I liked it, but I was disappointed because it didn't scare me. I wanted something a little more supernatural, I guess. And then I saw Blair Witch Project, and it terrified me, and I loved it. And since then, I hate all found footage movies because they can't live up to the standard that Blair Witch Project set for me. And yeah, from that point, I think the next one after that would have been maybe Paranormal Activity that I saw, and I didn't like it. I love the Scream movies, and eventually I saw a movie called Burnt Offerings from the 70s. I think it was 1976. Not a very well-known movie.
I've never even heard of it.
It's funny because Betty Davis is in it. It was one of her last movies, I think, and she was a huge actress in the 30s, 40s, and 50s. But yeah, it's 1976, and it's like a normal haunted house story. But there's some scenes in there that still stick in my mind when I got to go do like laundry, at nighttime and all that, and I'm the only one in the room, and I'll just think of these scenes, and I think, I'm not looking in any windows, I'm not looking in any mirrors. Oh, The Ring, and The Ring was another one that terrified me. Just the one scene, just the video, when she's combing her hair in the mirror. I remember I was at the art gallery before when I was a kid, seeing a photograph of a woman, not even standing in a mirror, not even combing her hair. She was just kind of like standing like this, and I always associate that with The Ring, so that's another one that I try and avoid thinking about when I'm alone in the dark. But I love that feeling. I love horror movies. It's hard to get scared by them nowadays because I've seen so many, but when one can scare me, I love it.
Yeah, that video sequence of just like a bunch of weird pictures and stuff in old black and white is all very eerie, even though none of those things are actually scary.
It's the scariest part of the movie for sure.
I think it shows like a ladder and a shadow of it or something like that, and you're like,
falls.
but like just the weird eerie noise and the sound effects and And like, yeah, it's just very odd. And yeah, that is like the eeriest part. I still think the scariest part is where the girl comes out of the well, but
No. That didn't scare me. That could never happen. You know, well, not that like Blair Witch Project could happen, but you know, I don't know. It's just too in your face. She comes out of the TV, and I thought, you know, I'd leave. Like what? I don't know. The video terrified me though, because that was like somebody's dream. It's like you're watching someone's name.
She comes after you forever, Zane.
Oh, okay. Well, I just kick her back in the TV. Like, there's got to be a way of unplug the TV. Read a book.
I think we might have lost Carolina's video. Oh, she's back.
Connection issues.
It happens. I get it. You know, Zane, with how you were talking there about movies that I've never even heard of, I just sort of thought to myself, all right, I'm going to go leave the show now, and you can take over, and I'll just watch from a distance.
No, definitely watch Burnt Offerings for sure. If you like Supernatural. If you don't like Supernatural movies, don't worry about it. But if you like haunted house stories, yeah, for sure, Burnt Offerings.
See, I do like haunted house movies, but I also don't because basements freak me out and have since I was a little kid. And now my room's in the basement. And, like, there's one of those floor drain things in my basement just outside my room. And it makes noises in the middle of the night.
It's like the
no
Grudge.
reason whatsoever.
You know, Zane said something that I'm sure some people probably don't agree with, but I'm with him. When I first seen the original Halloween movie, I enjoyed the movie, but I wasn't scared of it at all. I've never understood where people are completely creeped out from the original Halloween movie. I don't get it. Then I watched the second one. Again, I enjoyed it. There's some scary moments, but it wasn't like this terrifying movie. And then the same night that I got to see 1 and 2 for the first time, I also seen 4. And 4 did it for me. I know The Mask is not good, but 4 was the one that I was like, oh, fuck. And I had nightmares for a while from it. And that one got me. And that is why our movie is a sequel to 4, basically 30 years later. And, 4 did it for me. We're going to begin to wrap things up here shortly. Before I do, though, I just want to talk to you guys about 2 pieces of movie news that have come out. The first being a deal that Universal, which produces movies like the Fast and the Furious movies, like the Jurassic World movies, like Halloween Kills, Halloween Ends, has struck a deal. They originally struck a deal with AMC movie theaters, which is the biggest movie theater chain in the world, to move the theatrical release window. Basically, a movie had to be in theaters for 90 days before it could come to Blu-ray or streaming services or etc. It's now only 17 days. Now they've Universal struck a deal with Cinemark, which is the 3rd biggest movie theater chain in the world. And basically, it's a very similar deal where if the movie makes more than $50 billion on opening weekend worldwide, it has to stay in theaters for 31 days before moving to Blu-ray or streaming service. But if it makes less, and the majority of movies do make less, it can be released after 17 days again. Basically, where I'm going with this, because of the pandemic, because most theaters they're basically hemorrhaging money at this point. Because as much as they want to show old movies, they've lost a metric shit ton of money. I think that this could spell maybe not the end of movie theaters, but it's definitely heading in a direction where they're not going to be as prominent as they are now, which is unfortunate. I just wanted to talk to you guys about, are you guys movie people? Do you enjoy going to the movies? Would you rather sit at home and watch movies with a friend, you know?
I love going to the movie theater. Honestly, like that is hands down like one of my favorite things to do. So that would truly disappoint me if that was the case, because for me it's like about the experience of just going. Like, I don't know, maybe it's just like a personal opinion, but that's something that I like enjoy doing on the weekend with my girlfriends or with, you know, like with family or whoever. Like, I love that, you know, going there, whatever, getting your snacks, like watching the movie. Like, that's just, for me, like, I love that whole experience. I always have.
I'm a huge movie theater person. Whether it's the movie theater or the drive-in, I think there's still in 2020 something special about going to see a movie. My hope is Halloween Kills, if the plan remains the same, should come to TIFF. A few of us will go see that. But when Halloween Kills actually comes out, I'd love to take the whole cast and crew from our movie out to opening night of Halloween Kills and meet up and make a night of it. I think that'd be a blast. I love the cinema. You can have the best home entertainment system in your house, and nothing, in my opinion, duplicates that experience of going to the cinema. Whether you're seeing a movie, I don't like 3D movies, but you see it in like IMAX. If you have a chance to see a movie in just normal IMAX 2D, it's fantastic. Kieran, where are you at with this, man? Do you prefer to sit at home and see movies there, or is there still something unique and special about going to the cinema for you?
I am definitely 100% a go to the movies person. The only thing that has dulled for me in that is that none of them will give you, well, actually the one that I go to, you can't get free refills on your drink, because I used to drink about like 3 or 4 giant Diet Cokes.
That is not healthy.
Neither is fighting Michael Myers.
That's our biggest issue.
That was my biggest issue with the whole experience right now. However, I think not too long ago, I asked my son if he wanted to go see a movie. I think it might have been SpongeBob in the theater. And he waited for it to come out. And he was like, oh, it's awesome. It's awesome. And I was like, hey, Leland, do you want to go to the theater today? And he was like, meh. And I thought to myself, like, as a kid, I would have never done that. Like, I really cherished going to the movie theater when I was a kid, and I don't think kids these days do. So, us all saying how much we love the theater is not going to matter when kids who are, up to 15 probably don't care. They'd probably rather watch it on their phone, or rather watch, a million 5-minute videos on their phone than watch a movie in the theater, at least. So, because I don't know, I guess it's still really special to me, but I wouldn't be surprised at all if in 10 years I'm like, remember when we used to go and see these in a building? And yeah,
I agree with you.
I don't know, the cinematic experience, in my opinion, can't be duplicated. Kennedy, how about you? Do you someone that just likes to sit at home and, Netflix it or Crave or Amazon, whatever, or do you prefer to get it to a theater?
TikTok.
You did not just say TikTok.
Uh-oh.
Caroline,
I want to watch 500 TikTok videos.
Friends off.
Jade had one on today when I got home from work, when she finally got home, and I'm like, what is it? It's some dance thing about, I can't remember if it was Mac. I watched it for like 30 seconds, and it was just like, oh my God. Like, terrible. Anyway, theaters or at home?
It depends, because I have an Android box, so if I don't feel like spending money at the movies, because it gets expensive.
Oh,
I don't feel like spending money at the movies. I just wait for it to come out on the Android box, because then it's free and I can just sit at home. But the only thing is, movie theater popcorn hits different than microwave popcorn.
Yeah.
So
it's all about the snacks.
Right?
Oh man.
Yeah.
You're killing the theater.
Do you ever go to Bulk Barn? When I was little, my friend, 12, 13, 14, my friend had this jacket that had a ripped pocket, which connected all the way around the back of the jacket. So we'd go to the Bulk Barn and spend $20 on big bags of snacks. And she'd hide it in the back of her jacket, and we'd walk in, and then we get movie theater popcorn, and we were set. We just had all the snacks lined out. It was great.
To each his or her own. You're right about the theater being expensive, though. It is not a cheap thing to bring a couple of people and feed them and see the movie. And, at the end of the day, the price runs up there. Jason, how about you, man? Do you prefer to watch it at home with the kiddos, or do you still like to get out to a cinema?
Oh, I love the movies going to the cinema. The last one I actually saw, I took my son, whose birthday just passed, actually. We went and saw Rise of Skywalker at Christmas. That's how long it's been since I've gone.
Kieran's face just got so happy and excited. Anyone saw his face.
He loves that film.
I seen his face.
So
He's like, I love it.
I spend my Tuesdays arguing with this guy about that movie all day, like the whole time. And like, he will make a Rise of Skywalker joke like 10 times per show.
Last
That's
Jedi.
funny.
Last Jedi.
I haven't been to the movies in so long. The last movie I watched was Bad Boys.
The third one, I assume, right?
Yes, absolutely. The third one.
I was gonna say that's a really long time.
How long ago was that? Was that like a year ago?
I think so.
A year ago.
I still haven't seen that. Crazy.
I thought if you said the first one, I was going to say we need to get you out of that house of yours.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Oh my
No,
god.
guys, it was the third one. It was the third one.
Okay. Mildly acceptable.
Zane, how about you, man? Sit at home with the fam or head out to a cinema?
I prefer movie theaters for sure. Like, I don't know, popcorn, the audience. Like, it's cool. It's cool to see other people's reactions too, right? Especially for a comedy. Not so much for a horror movie because people talk and they're on their phone and all that, trying to distract themselves. But for a comedy or for a drama, any type, really most types other than horror, I love going to the theater. And it's sad because I think you're right. We're coming on the death of theaters here. There was a decision in the States back in August. It overturned a Supreme Court ruling from 1948. And in 48, they made it illegal for studios to buy theater chains in the States, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that affects Canada too. Well, now it is legal. So they're going to, for example, Warner Brothers could buy Cineplex, let's just say. And they'll see that there might not be much value in investing in more theaters. So maybe they'll transfer that money into like streaming platforms, and you'll see a Cineplex app, like a streaming platform, and the theaters will just die off. And it sucks for them. It sucks for indie theaters. Like there's a couple of them out here in Waterloo, Kitchener, and Waterloo, and they're gonna lose they'll lose the films that they play, right? Because they'll be owned by specific theaters. They will lose their audience. They'll lose everything, and it's it's sad. Everything's going to streaming now. And I mean, I love Netflix, right? But it's not the same as going to a theater.
No.
Also, some films you need to see in the theater. Like 1917 was a theater experience.
Oh yeah,
it does not. It's not the same thing on Blu-ray or whatever because of the sound and the way they shot it.
Yeah,
it was an amazing theater experience to see that film.
Yeah, that was the last one I saw before the pandemic, and I'm thankful for that for sure. It was great.
Yeah.
Did you just say you don't go to the theaters to watch horror films?
I do, but it's not as... I mean, don't you notice that there's always like teenagers? There's like 14, 15, 16
Yeah,
year
there's
olds.
annoying people sometimes. But
You go to the movie theaters with. Because I remember I went with my two friends. We went to go see Lights Out when that was in theaters. And there was these like 14, 15-year-olds sitting in a seat. And the credits were... Aww.
We got you.
Boo.
Keep going.
Okay, yeah,
So
keep
the
going.
beginning credits like just started rolling, and then it was like spoiler, but there's like this dark hallway, and then this girl just pops up out of nowhere, and this one kid jumped so high and fell on his ass, like off this. I was just started dying. Like, I'm a horrible person to watch a horror movie with, though, because like it's like, oh, that's how they did that. Oh, that's so cool. And
I do have the remedy for that.
What?
Uh-oh.
You go to the adult only theater. Have you guys been to that one?
That sounds like one that I don't want to go.
There's adult only theaters.
Gonna say what?
No.
You go, it's the one in Ajax.
Okay.
I think it's in Ajax or Pickering Town Center. I'm not sure. There's one there. You have to be 21 to go.
Okay.
And
Oh,
they serve They serve alcohol, and they also will serve you food in your seat.
Oh, the VIP. Don't you have to be 19?
VIP.
I'm pretty sure it would be 19 for that. You
Yeah.
don't have to be 21.
19.
19.
Kieran's trying to
When
be
you said
American.
adult theater, I thought you meant something else.
I'm old, so it doesn't matter.
You're
But
not old. Okay,
It's
what?
19.
Okay, guys, what is the worst movie that you've seen in the theater?
As above, so below. Hands
What?
down.
Sorry, what was it?
As above, so below.
Okay, mine was The Nun.
The Nun. I heard it was terrible.
It
The
was
nun was
absolutely
terrible.
the biggest waste of money. Spent so much money on snacks. Literally.
But at least you got the movie theater snacks, so you could go home and watch a good movie.
You're
with
right.
all the
And I got some like popcorn to take home and whatever. But still, it was like the worst movie ever.
That's unfortunate because I actually liked the first 2 Conjuring movies. And then The Nun, I heard, was just a complete disaster.
It was terrible, terrible, terrible.
See, The Conjuring was going to be my answer.
Fake fact.
Oh, The
Answer.
Conjuring. Really? You don't like it?
No, I thought
Conjuring
the
was
trailer was
good,
creepy.
but not The Nun.
No.
Okay, this is not a horror movie, but I actually walked out, and call me a fake Batman fan all you want.
Oh, no. Be careful here. You have 2 people ready to jump on you.
Don't even dare make that face at me. I walked out an hour into the Joker movie.
What?
Well, that's going to do it for Kennedy here this evening. Let's, where can everybody find it?
Oh, whatever, Sean.
No, that's okay. That's okay. Honestly,
It's okay.
like that's
You
fine.
date with the
That's
spanker.
fine.
Oh, it's fine.
Did you see the big poster in my living room when you were here?
I did. It's pretty dope. But okay, so here's the thing. I cannot stand movies that are slow and have a slow storyline. And the Joker was way too slow. Like, it dragged on too much.
So it has to like catch your attention like right away, is what
But-
you're saying.
Well, not
it's
even
a masterpiece.
It is.
hush. No, like, okay, if it's slow for the first like half hour, 45 minutes, whatever. But when it drags on for an hour and 15 fucking minutes, I'm sorry, I can't. I'm done. So I
Yeah,
ended
you're
up walking
over
out,
it.
and then apparently right after that, really, okay, someone in the chat said thought Kennedy was cool until now. Thank you.
What?
No slow burns.
By the way, because we're only going to go for about, I'd say 15 more minutes here and then we'll end it.
Okay.
If anybody has any questions they want to send in to the casting crew, now is the time to do so. If you want to send in a super chat, feel free. Or if you just want to send in a normal question, we will read it. We're at the end of the show. We won't be able to read them all. So if you have any questions whatsoever, keep it clean. For any of these individuals, now is the time to do so. There was one earlier that I wanted to read, and I've now lost it. Where was it? I think it was from Melissa Todd. Oh my God! Thought someone was behind Carolina. When she said that, I looked up at your window. I'm like, wait, no, I don't see anything. It's creepy though when someone says that. It's like, oh
What?
right, there's just a wall
Like,
behind me.
Behind her now, and the comment was made like 15 minutes ago. Love it.
And literally nobody says anything. There's
And to go back to the whole Joker thing, I will rewatch it eventually. Just okay.
Just
Hang on. So you're saying you don't like the movie?
No. I did not say that.
Oh, okay.
Not say that at all. I have not watched the full movie to have a proper.
Well, at least you have that perspective. Kieran and I know someone who will watch 10 minutes of a movie and be like, nope, it's terrible.
I think I know who you may be speaking of.
literally 10 minutes. You
Okay.
have 10 minutes to catch my attention, then I'm done.
I sat there for a solid hour, just over an hour, and it was not doing it for me, so I walked out.
That was an
If you
hour
can-
of great
If
movie.
you can sit there for a solid hour, that's like dedication. And then after you make your decision, yeah, you're free to leave.
I was almost falling asleep, guys.
Oh,
Like,
God.
Not only,
stop.
again, it
So-
shows all film
Yeah,
is subjective,
just-
though.
I will
Just
watch
stop.
the movie. I will.
you're just making it worse.
Here is nobody asked me.
No, I mean,
I'm
all
getting-
film is
I'm getting
subjective.
someone else to do my makeup on next set. I'm kidding. fan.
I mean, you could ask Mary Jane. Oh, wait, no.
No.
Honestly, at this point, I would rather just cut myself. Like, I'll just start.
Oh,
slicing my own hair.
that's cutting
Okay,
teeth.
Wow.
Title because head wounds gush like motherfuckers.
Oh, you mean like blade job, like in wrestling? Okay, I get what you're saying. Okay, yeah. I thought you meant that in a
No,
different
like-
context.
No, but like, still, I don't know. That might not be too far off. And crazy.
All film is subjective at the end of the day, but in my
Except the
opinion,
Joker.
not only was Joker great, I thought it was by far the best movie released in 2019. Like, I was just completely blown away by it.
This is Kennedy. This is why your parents don't love you. My parents love me.
Wait,
I'm like
who said that?
solid Saturn 03.
Oh, Solid Saturn. Yeah, he's a usual around here, a commoner.
Hmm.
Travis says she likes the Saw movies, so it makes up for it.
Thank you.
Okay, so what was everyone's worst movie they seen in theater again? Kennedy's, yours was,
As above, so below.
and Carolina's was The Nun.
The Nun.
Jason, what was yours?
I don't really know.
You don't know what the worst movie you've ever seen in theaters is?
Actually, the possession of Hannah Grace was pretty bad. I wanted to,
Anna Grace.
yeah,
I've never
I
heard
wanted
of
to
it.
get out of
I
that
don't
movie.
think I've ever watched that, but I've
Yeah.
seen like the of Emily Rose. Like
That's the one I seen. It was bad.
Emily Rose. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll say that one. Yeah, I kind of don't make a habit of watching bad movies.
Whoa. It's not like it was done on purpose. but-
Zane, how about you, man? What was the worst you've seen? Was it The Conjuring?
I don't know. I said The Conjuring, but that's probably not true. Like, I'm sure if I stopped to think about it, I could think of something worse, but probably a sequel. A sequel to something. Oh, you know what? Hoodwinked 2. That was a horrible movie.
Sorry, what?
You know Hoodwinked?
No.
No.
The animated movie with, who's in it?
Hoodwinked.
Jim Belushi.
Except for maybe me and you. Like, it was like
Yeah.
the first one was all right. The second one sucked.
Yeah, the second one sucked. That was probably the worst movie-going experience of my life as a whole. Just not even just the movie, but the theater. It was the one in Bowmanville. And, oh, God, it's so old. They got to put that out of its misery.
I remember I went to go see High School Musical 3 in theaters at Clarington Theaters, and literally 30 seconds in, it just stopped. The screen went black.
Did you walk out of that one?
No.
But you walked out of Joker.
I was little, and I was like so hyped to see this movie. It was High School Musical.
Man, you really shot yourself in the foot tonight with that one.
Hey, you know what? I my decision to watch High School Musical. Okay.
Somebody remind me when we're all back. I mean, I'm sure some of us will be back together before then, but in May to bring up Kennedy's choices here tonight.
Yours there, Sean?
Sorry, what's mine?
I said, shall we go over some of yours?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, you mean in that way? No, let's not do that. The Last Jedi. Oh my God, I've never been so disappointed in seeing a movie in that was. I mean, I left seeing Rogue One kind of like, yeah, it's okay. But when I left The Last Jedi, I basically felt like someone had, like, if your like childhood dreams and adventures could be put into a box, like someone just threw it into a fire pit, lit it on fire, and then drove over it with an 18-wheeler, is how I felt after seeing The Last Jedi.
I agree.
I just, oh. And I'm not doing it to get a rise out of Kieran. I see he's already annoyed, but that's
He is less annoyed at you not liking a Star Wars franchise movie than he is about me walking out on the Joker.
Oh my.
It was just so bad.
Well, so this is the thing. Rise of Skywalker is not that good. It's not a very good movie. I'm just like, I've heard him talk about this movie too many times, and like, it's not.
We're still early days, man.
It definitely, he definitely like is just a little bit over the top on it. you not liking the Joker is like, oh my god, it's
Okay,
like,
I didn't say I don't like the Joker. Also, the other thing too is Heath Ledger.
That's true.
and it doesn't matter though.
Exactly.
Jack Nicholson
If you're
was a good
you
Joker.
have your opinion, I have mine. It's a difference of opinion. It is what it is. Heath Ledger, by far the best Joker. Also, one of the, well, in my opinion, the best improv scene.
Improv. What was improv?
Spoiler. When he blew up the hospital and he was fumbling with the detonator.
Yeah.
That was all improv because they had one shot.
Yeah.
The explosives
He
didn't
did
go off.
he did a lot of like not heavily improv, but he made a whole bunch of stuff on the spot because he was just being the Joker at that point. Like he was just the Joker.
Man,
Yeah,
that
like,
movie
his
was fucking
reactions-
terrible.
Pardon? What was
No,
fucking
I'm
terrible?
kidding. The Dark Knight is one of my favorite movies. I'm literally looking at a poster of it.
Was it you or Johnny that doesn't like The Dark Knight Rises?
Oh, that's
though?
Johnny. Johnny hates it. I love The Dark Knight Rises. I think it's a great
I love
movie.
that.
The
Yeah, it's
best
awesome.
of the movie. It wasn't my favorite. Yeah, that was like the best improv scene, and his reaction to that the explosion going off was about as accurate as my my reaction and to something that has yet to be put out there, I guess you could say.
Oh, okay.
I get it. But
Yeah,
nobody watching this will get it. So
that's okay. That's
The people
point.
on it get it, though.
Are you spilling some tea here or what?
I love that reference, spilling some tea.
Jade goes, Kennedy is turning into me when Johnny is on the show.
Accurate. Marcus Hicks sends in a super chat. Have you guys seen Universal and Blumhouse's Freaky yet? I believe that's the Vince Vaughn and Girl from Supernatural horror movie. I've not seen it yet. I believe it comes to VOD in like a week or so. It's in theaters right now, which nobody's going to see for the most part. But it's got some pretty good reviews. So Vince Vaughn in a horror movie, though, I don't know how that one's going to be.
I don't know. That's Vince Vaughn.
Vince Vaughn was in a movie where he was like an abusive stepdad or something like that, and he was like fantastic in that as
was
a bad guy.
Domestic Disturbance. I think you're thinking of.
And also,
Have to
like,
check that
he
out.
started off his career being a little bit more serious, and just kind of fell into comedy, I think.
I was going to say, a lot of people don't even remember he was in The Lost World.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, he wasn't even really a comedic character at all in that movie.
Nope, he wasn't. Matt Whitfield sends in a super chat. I would rather watch Ewoks Xmas special than The Last Jedi. Oh, that one goes out for Maddie. All right, guys. Last topic here before we end the show. Are you all familiar with the Scream franchise?
Yeah. Love Scream.
Yes.
Okay, so that franchise has made the decision to name its upcoming 5th entry, even though it is a sequel to Scream 4, they're just calling it Scream. Well, another movie franchise did that in 2018 with Halloween. It was heavily rumored that Halloween movie, they wanted to call it Halloween Returns. However, they chose not to because there was already a script for a Halloween Returns movie that was in production a few years prior, and they didn't want the fan base getting confused with it. So instead, they titled the sequel to Halloween, because that's not confusing at all. I get that people don't want to attach a number to a soft reboot / sequel because if they're newer fans, if they're people that are, 15, 16 years old thinking about going to see this movie, they don't want to be like, oh, okay, well, I have to see the other 4 movies. So this movie's probably written in a way where, yeah, it helps if you see the other 4 movies, but you don't need to. Are you guys on board with just not even horror franchises, but just movie franchises in general using the same name for another movie that is not just a reboot, but rather a sequel? I find it confusing. They didn't name The Force Awakens Star Wars again. It's it's Star Wars The Force Awakens. I know Halloween did it, and I've stood by it the entire time of my point of view, just saying they shouldn't have. Do you guys think it's confusing? Would you have named it something else? Scream Returns, etc. Caroline, I'm going to throw you under the bus first. What do you think? Would you have named it Scream again?
I don't know. Like, I'm a little bit like on the fence with that. I mean, I feel like as a part of a franchise, I think like you should keep something that's well known to everybody else, right? You know, like that's how you're going to identify it. But at the same time, it's very unoriginal. I'm not really sure. Like, I guess, you know, it all depends on like how big of a fan you are, like how much you look into it and how much you think about it. But I don't know, like I said, I'm on the fence. Like, it's, to me, it's unoriginal, but at the same time, it kind of keeps with that whole kind of namesake, I guess. Like, you want to keep it familiar to a certain kind of audience. So, I mean, like, what else would you do? Scream, I guess, yeah, Scream Returns or like Scream something, blah, blah, blah. But I don't know. Like, I think that at the end of the day, you want to, if it's something that, you know, if it's like a spin-off or of whatever, like, you kind of want to keep it in the same category so that it's not confusing to people that are following that whole trend, I guess. You know what I mean?
No, absolutely. I get it. I think they really just didn't want to attach the number 5 to it. I think they...
I mean, I guess, like, in the sense, like, it's not, like, you would think it would come off, like, you'd want it to be a little bit more authentic, I guess. A little, like, to differentiate between, like, whatever's been done before. But then at the end of the day, you want it to be recognizable at the end of the day. And for it to, like, fit into that dome of what's already been created and generated, right?
Toronto Freddy in the chat says, how about Scream Legacy? I think that would have worked depending on what the story is. Kieran, how about you, man? Should they have just swallowed the pill and attached 5 or some sort of subtitle? Is it weird that it's just called Scream again, even though it's not a reboot?
I just want to call it Scream 5, but it would make the S at the end, or the 5 at the end look like an S, so it says Screams.
Oh, at the beginning?
Oh, okay.
Oh, Scream. Okay, I get what you're saying.
But, like, that's, you know, an idea I came up with in 5 seconds, so they should have come up with something better than that. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's dumb because everyone's going to think it's a reboot, and I think, you know, some people are done with the idea of reboots, and they're not going to go see it for that reason, and I don't know. It's totally lazy, and...
I think that, but... I get it, but I think that it all comes down to when you see the trailer, when you actually see that how they remade it and how they kind of, you know, attributed like everything else into what they did in the past. Like, it all comes down to what you see visually, right? So I don't really think that it necessarily matters what the name is. It's what you see in front of you when you watch the preview that's going to capture your attention.
Maybe.
Side note here, we do know that they filmed, I believe it's 4 or 5 different endings for this movie, and they are not telling the cast what the ending is, like the chosen ending, so that there can be no spoilers. I'd like to see more movie franchises do that. I can actually tell you now that we're returning in May, we will probably reshoot our ending. So,
To the other idea?
Yeah, I think that'd be great, which
Really?
means, yeah, Kieran, have fun with that. He's covered. Poor guy.
It's for the film.
I hope I don't fall on a prop knife.
Oh, no. It's okay.
Alrighty, Kennedy, good idea, bad idea. Where are you at with that?
Okay, I just want to point out that Toronto Freddy said like the 5.
Oh,
and
the
then
5.
Instead of the S.
5 cream. Yeah, that I like that.
But like if you wrote it properly in a proper font, it would look good. I don't think they should have called it like straight up just Scream. But I do think it should be the name should be associated with the Scream franchise. Similar to how the Saw franchise, they did Jigsaw instead of Saw 8 or just Saw. You know what I mean? So it's still associated or has the association, because people who have been following, like Caroline said, people who have been following the franchise, I guess you could say, are used to seeing, oh, there's a Scream movie coming out. Okay, let's watch it. Instead of just like some random. But at the same time, it's confusing to like new people that are starting to watch it. I don't know. That's my take.
Yeah.
Jason, how about you, man?
I think it's confusing because it's like if it's this called Scream, it's like, okay, is this being rebooted? Like if you didn't know nothing about it, you didn't follow what's going on. Are you going, is this rebooted or is this a sequel? What is it? I think the best idea, I think you guys already hit on, was put the 5 as the S and did some kind of real nice font to it. And this did that. Because everyone knows it's Scream 5, but I don't get why they're just calling it Scream.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
really. I don't get the. I mean, I think they think just calling it Scream is going to be better for decision making or just for marketing, but I don't know. I mean, at the end of
Can
the
I
day,
copyright that idea?
In the
Like,
chat,
right now?
Matthew just said to just name it Ghostface, which I think would be a good.
you know what would have been cool if they just called it Stab, like the little movies they do in the Scream movies.
Stop.
So, Jensen's joined the show apparently, who came out of nowhere. Hi, buddy. Oh, don't touch the keyboard. Zane, wrap us up here, man. This is it. It's all on you, dude.
This is it.
Yeah, I don't know. I would think it's stupid that a movie would do that, right? Just call itself Scream when it's clearly a sequel, the 5th sequel. But since the beginning, Scream's kind of been taking subtle digs at Halloween, right? So I think I don't know. I think it's okay because Halloween did it first. I think it's all right that Scream does it. As long as I see some more shots at Halloween that I like when they kind of make fun of John Carpenter and that whole kind of, not that I don't like Halloween, but people forget that the original Scream was a parody because Scary Movie kind of stole the show after that, right? But Scream 1, the first Scream, was a parody of slasher films, right? Including Halloween.
Yeah.
So I think it's okay that they're doing it just because Halloween did it first.
I mean, it worked for Halloween. $251 million worldwide, the most successful slasher film ever made. So,
wow,
it is what it is. We'll have to see what this one does. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, we have run out of time on this show. Want to thank everybody who was able to make it. Everyone who wasn't able to make it, we'll have them on again sometime in the near future. Hopefully we can have all you guys and gals back for maybe do a watch along together or something. Pick a random horror movie and all queue it up at the same time and watch along and follow along. That's something we do on the channel and it'd be a lot of fun. First up, Carolina, I know you were a little nervous about coming on here and doing this, but it seems like once again you have proved the odds wrong and were fantastic. And do you want anybody to follow you on social media? Now would be the time to...
Of course. I'm easily found. And I just want to say thank you to all you guys. And thank you for, making me feel comfortable. And, it was definitely a challenge for me coming on with this group. And I had a lot of fun. And it was amazing meeting all of you. And I look forward to seeing everybody again.
Awesome. Hopefully sooner than later. We will be able to do something. Hopefully just after Christmas. If not, we can do something digitally. Where can everybody find you at? I don't know if you got that across or not in terms of whether you want someone checking you out on Instagram or Twitter, or you just don't want people finding you.
Instagram, actually.
We're having trouble keeping your screen normal. 1 second.
Oh.
Of course, now it's just going to go all haywire. What is your Instagram?
Do you want me to? My name's super long, so I don't know. Like, should I?
If you want, if Kennedy can, you could post it in the chat if you want.
I will post it in the chat.
That'll work.
Okay.
I put mine in the chat, my Facebook and my Instagram.
Okay.
Again, apologies for the screen, guys. It's just going haywire. Next time we will use Zoom. when we have more than 4 people on, and I'm sure it'll go a little smoother. Jason, man, it was a pleasure to have you on again, dude. I know it was late notice for you. Where can everybody find you at, and what do you got coming up on your channel, man?
Well, the channel's just Jason Nike, and I pop up now, so, and not many Nikes out there, so. Also on Instagram is it's my name is Jason 13, and that's where I'll post stuff like I'm ready to do a review, or I'll post VHS movies, or because I'm going to start getting into VHS reviews. And in the new year, I'm going to have a couple new shows with other content creators. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Nice.
Just can't talk about it right now. And on my Facebook, it's at Jason Nike 79. So, and I got tomorrow. I got Chad Sumner coming on the show. So he's playing Jason Voorhees in the upcoming fan film My Special Boy, directed by James Grimm.
Nice.
He's a great guy. I'm gonna be talking to him. And then I got another show on Saturday night, doing more music. I'll be talking blues music with another content creator. So, and
awesome.
I'm going through my Friday. I'm finishing off my Friday the 13th review series too. So,
awesome. Well, we'll be sure to look forward to all that. I'm going to slowly, if you guys want to stick on the Skype call for a second, as I outro you guys, I'm going to remove each one of you to try to clean up the screen. So don't go anywhere. We'll chat for a second when this goes off air, but I'm going to remove Carolina and Jason for now, and try to get the screen to go normal for us. Kennedy, it was a pleasure to have you again. We know we're going to see you around the channel more here in the future every couple of weeks, and can't wait to do more with you, Joker hater. No, I'm just... where can everybody find you at other than trying to kill me?
I know where you live. I'm sorry, I had to.
There's video evidence of this online now if I die randomly.
It would probably be Jade more than me, to be honest. I would just be an accomplice and a getaway driver. So, I'm just gonna post my Instagram and my Facebook in the chat because it's just easier
All right.
than trying to explain how to spell my name. Because
awesome. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see you next time, probably in a week or two.
Sounds good.
And that was Kennedy, who plays the role of Taylor in our movie and also the makeup artist. Then there was 3. We have Zane, who, from what I understand, maybe I misperceived this wrong, but you'd like to do this more, and you just didn't know you were capable of doing it, according to your cousin, or was that slightly misleading?
Oh no, I just didn't. Yeah, I didn't know that was an option or anything. But yeah, it was a good time for sure. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, we look forward to having you back, man.
Mm-hmm.
Where can everybody find you at if you want anybody to find you anywhere?
I don't know how to put, like, are you talking about the Skype chat? Is that what we put?
No, like if you're on Instagram or Twitter.
Yeah. I mean, like because my name is long, my Instagram name, so I was gonna put it in the chat.
Put it in the YouTube chat if you can.
Chat. Okay, yeah.
That's where I put.
All right, we can still hear all of them. We just can't see them. All right, well, we'll get it out there. I'll have it listed in the future here. But thanks for doing this, man.
Yeah, sounds good. It's a good time.
All right, that was Jade's younger cousin, Zane. Younger? Yeah, I think he's younger. And then there was this guy and me. I suppose I will see you Tuesday night.
Yeah. Aren't you gonna say, like, where can people find? Nobody likes me.
Well, basically, ever since we talked about going back and filming the ending again, you've been utterly silent. So I don't know what to take of this or make of this.
I'm good. Actually, I wanted more work last time. I was like, man, I'm not in any of these scenes, and then it took forever to get to my scene, and now it seems like I'll be in a lot of scenes, so that's cool. And hey, Kieran, where can you find you at? You can find me. I'm one of the mods in the Fandom Empire page. So I post there quite often, and usually I put my name at the bottom. So, and you will also find me not watching movies with Kennedy ever.
I'm the best person I'll be with.
Oh, that's terrible.
Chat moderator
No.
Frank Riker says, "Lose the Santa hat, man."
You know what?
Kennedy, I got your back, girl.
Seriously,
The first thing when we got in the house, the first thing I think Kennedy was like playing with everyone who showed up. Like she was just like giving people like weird answers to things and seeing how they reacted. And I knew that she was going to be a really fun person to be around like right away. Because she just have
questions, and it all started with Zane asking if the place had a fucking bathroom, and then everyone else started going, and then I was like, fuck it, everyone's so gullible, I might as well just fuck with everyone. So that's what happened.
the amount of times that you had to say like, I'm just fucking with you, like in the first
Because
like
everyone believed me. Like if this was an actual horror movie that went down instead of like us filming one, everyone would be dead.
Yeah, that's probably fair.
So the
That's
dark
probably fair.
basement, I promise someone will kill you, and everyone just dies.
Don't forget, everybody, you can check out Kieran's other show, the Rogue Sons of Star Wars podcast, on all platforms everywhere. I think you might have already said this. I just might have zoned it out. Him and Thaden do a great job over there. And you can also catch him next Tuesday right here on the Imperial Remnant broadcast, as we're going to talk about Fanboys Review Mando episode 4? I think it's 4. 4. And tomorrow, I believe around noon Eastern time, you'll be able to catch Tommy B and myself talking about the end of Supernatural, which I'm going to go watch here shortly and cry myself to sleep because 15 years has come to an end. Again, big shout out to Kennedy, Jason Nike, Carolina, and Zane for participating in this, and I guess Kieran too, even though he likes The Last Jedi. I'm Sean. We'll see you guys next time. Don't forget, the boogeyman is in fact coming.
I get